Welcome to Bodywork.
Please fasten your seatbelts.
I had 11 Olympians and over 800 national champs. And all those men, they wouldn't do half the work that she do. And I'm seeing it from the young ladies. These last 2 years, when you think about it, all the good fights is coming from the women. The guys is ducking each other, looking for the easy way. I'm telling you like it is, you know? So again, you know, this young lady did everything I asked of, and she did more. And I'm watching all the young ladies that's boxing now. It's like they trying to prove they better than men. Now, we knew they was kind of there, but now they showing that they mean. You know, in the old days in Philly, we call these guys crazy. And that's the way these women are. So when you go back home,
Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. Man, I'm still listening to this Shakur and Gilly, man. I think Gilly, man, for what he's doing and how he's doing it right now, listening to this interview with him and Shakur, I think this man might be one of these people doing it right now, man. He asking the tough questions. He's getting the right answers. You know what I'm saying? And Shakur, everything that I said about him, man, the man is saying right now, and I don't know the dude, man. You know what I'm saying? He's speaking some flames, man. So I'm still listening right now, and then I'm you know, I'm gonna be giving my feedback on what's going on with you know, what's going on right now with this Gilly and Wallow with Shakur airing right now. You know what I'm saying? We already know this was previously recorded, so you know what I'm saying? We getting it now. So I'm listening to that right now. That's what's in the earpiece right now. Hey man, I think we at 695, man. And I want to salute because we was at 696. We got to bound up out of here. You know what I'm saying? This channel, man, I'm building this channel brick by brick by brick. You know what I'm saying? We the outsiders, man. You know, I was thinking about starting a whole new channel, a faceless joint, see how much that blow. But I was reminded, I got in touch with the YouTube, the numbers people, because I realized that one of my links was actually sending activity over to another channel. But I'm gonna get that fixed. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that be rocking, a lot of people that be watching. You know what I'm saying? So your boy growing, man. We building it brick by brick. You know what I'm saying? I salute to the kidneys, man. Salute to Scorpion. Salute to Dillevator. Salute to Hutch. Aaron Jones, my day one. You know what I'm saying? He rocked with my man Tank. He called it straight down the middle, man. I wouldn't have it no other way. I seen him yesterday, man. I salute. You know what I'm saying? I salute everybody, man. You know, never underestimate the power of influence, man. You know what I'm saying? Never underestimate the power of influence because, you know, they say like them rudders that stir them big ships, man. How small is the rudder? How small is the tongue that runs the body? You know what I'm saying? We know how many people that fell from grace because of one slip of the tongue. That's why I do not desire to be the Breakfast Club of boxing. I do not desire to be the king of Zamunda. I just desire to continue to speak my truth. And right now, Errol, get out. I'm going to stop this. You know what I'm saying? I'm up here. No lie, I have my thumbnail. I'm up here watching Gilly. I'm listening to Gilly and them right now, but I'm about to stop this for y'all, man. I'm about to stop this for everybody who came in, man. I'm going to say, Errol, get out, brother. Get out. If you recall, on my channel, before the Bud fight was finalized, I put the ski mask on, I did a little skit, and I was just like, man, look, man, with the way Bud is acting, man, it's okay for you to go ahead and just pick on somebody, man. And yeah, I stand corrected because I was like, man, here we go again with this Bud stuff. And when I learned that the fact was the winner, if the loser reenacted the rematch, the winner would get to pick the weight. And I was just saying, oh man, here we go, Bud reneging again. But also to add to that, even though it was not even though that's how the contract was designed, Bud came out his own mouth, mic in hand. You know what I'm saying? All I need is one mic. He came out and said, yeah, you know, since he gave me a chance, you know, listen, without Errol Spence, this fight wouldn't happen. And, you know what I'm saying, I'd be more than glad to do it at I'd be more than glad to go ahead and do it at 154. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, you know what I'm saying? You know, Earl didn't make no excuses, you know, and like a soldier, like the soldier that he is, he said, let's do this. And now we hear that Bud is saying, hey, yeah, we could do the rematch, but it's going to be at 147. So the dilemma is, one, a lot of people are saying they don't want to see it. You know what I'm saying? That's aside from business. If we have a contract and I enact my rematch, depending on the terms, I have to reenact the rematch depending upon the terms. I was off. I thought that he could enact a rematch and it was going to be at 154, but I was corrected when I learned that the winner could fight at the weight that they desired. Now, it don't make sense for Bud to say that it was hard for him to make 47 and he'll do it at 54. Only for Earl to say, yes, I would like my rematch, just like everybody else. I would like my rematch. I'm going to go ahead and enact that. And then Bud comes out and say that, no deal. If it's at 47, I want more bread, run me more cheese. And then I want to, you know what I'm saying, I also want to do it at 47. So I was like, man, here we go again on my DMX. Here we go again. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, like what? And so I was kind of bent out of shape because, you know what I'm saying, I rock with Earl. I'm one of the ones that buy rain, sleet, or snow. I'm one of the ones that buy Bud fights rain, sleet, or snow. I'm a Bud fan, just not an only fan. So I'm sitting up here thinking like, okay, cool. Will we see this? And I was divided because I'm like, one side of me is like, man, Earl just need to cut, sling low and just not negotiate. And the harsh reality of once he do that, yeah, he won't be able to get his get back. And for him, I want him to be able to get his get back. That's just like, oh, okay, cool. Somebody got your number, you know what I'm saying? Growing up, if y'all had to put down the ones or twos and somebody got your number, then you're going to try to run it back. Well, eventually you're going to try to get your lick back. You know what I'm saying? You're going to try. So I'm like, I wanted that for him. So aside from them listening to everybody, I'm like, man, dang, because Pacquiao got knocked out, got his pillow fluff, arms down against Marquez, arms down, face down, blah, blah, blah. Nobody said, oh man, he should just go a different direction. He should not want to desire his rematch. I mean, we had Wilder fans say, oh no, he get a rematch, even though this man knocked blood out of his ear. Controversy, no controversy. Cheat, no cheat. however you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? People say, oh, he needed a rematch. It's not the same energy right now for Errol. So I had to calm down. I said, you know what? Bud is within his right to say that if it's at 147 or no deal. That's within his right. But if he got up there with a mic in his hand and we all verbally heard him say that he would do it at 54, then you're not gonna stand on that. Contractually, you good. But you got up there and said, yeah, since he gave me the opportunity and without Errol, this fight would have never happened. I was reminiscent of everything that happened leading up to this fight in the heavy negotiations of how that conversation overshadowed every boxing match that was on the itinerary and everything that we had to witness, where everybody had to talk about Bud and Spence. Everybody saluted and said, this is the Terence Bud Crawford. But you got to remember, Errol had to bend over backwards. Rumor has it he had to give up 50-50. He had to do the coin toss. He had to be announced first. It was just a lot of things that was kind of weird, especially since he was the one that went out and got the 3 belts and Bud went out and got 1. And I've done videos about how this just didn't make sense as far as, skill-wise, I saw why people had him on the pound for pound. He's in my boxes to watch. He's called the closer. I've already made my stance and shown how the outcome that we got could have been the outcome that we got because I gave him his credit. I was one of them people that I didn't do all that degrading and devaluing of him. I didn't do that. I spoke the truth on him. So we go ahead and we get the deal. The fight go down. It was an outcome that nobody expected. Even if you had one just with, you know what I'm saying, nobody expected that. People are still saying to this day, even if you were a Bud fan, there were people saying that you did not see that fight going down like that with Errol Spence. And you have some people that are, even Bud fans were saying, hey, man, I don't know what was going on with Spence. Regardless, being as stubborn as he is, I spoke to that as well. I said, man, both of these brothers are two stubborn brothers. You know what I'm saying? And I said that Terence Crawford was genius for everything that he was able to do in the negotiations, how he was able to build. And I pointed out the fact that Errol Spence had a belt. Bud could have fought him the first one moving up, but he made a business decision to fight Jeff Horn, who arguably lost to Manny Pacquiao. That was the route that he took, but he could have fought Errol. From that time until Errol got that 3rd belt against Ugas, all Bud did was defend his mandatories. We can debate, we can argue about who it was, whether it was Bob, whether it was Bud, you know what I'm saying, whether it was PBC. We can argue all day. The truth of the matter is, from the time, like, Errol already had a belt. Bud moved up on his first fight up and got a belt from Jeff Horn. From that time until the time that Errol got that belt from Ugas, that was the first time we really saw something definite where Bud said he wanted that fight. And if I could prove you wrong, if you want to go back and forth to the fact that there were times where he said, oh man, he better not fight me next. And then when he got in an accident, oh man, tell Errol pull his panties up. Then, oh man, oh well, he better not fight me next because I ain't gonna get no credit. They're gonna say it's because of the accident. He better not fight me next. So then Errol say, I don't do tune-ups. Went in there and put paws on Danny Garcia. All respect to Danny Garcia. All respect. But we can see the 5th when he got on Alkin Barak and say, even if that fight was 50-50, I don't know if I would make it. All of this waffling. And now because Canelo and Jamel about to get it on, he want to see the winner. He want to do bigger and better things. He's going to renege on what he verbally told the people. I also point out the fact that it was a time right before this fight where Bud came out and he said that the fans over in the UK were the best fans in the world. Nobody didn't make him get up there and apologize for his choice of words to his American fans, the people who actually buy his fights. Aside from that, you know what I'm saying, that Avenesian, I'm gonna be honest and say I didn't do that, but I'm one of the ones that actually buy all of the fights. I'm one of the ones who actually, when I first heard about Devin Haney, I'm one of the ones that actually got the zone just to see Devin Haney and had it ever since. And it grew my love for UK boxing and how they do it, and I got to learn and see and, you know, really study Eddie, really study the UK fighters. But I'm one of the ones that I support all of the boxers. I'll buy a Canelo fight even though I don't support him just to see how it do, because I don't want to be one of them people giving prediction off of highlights. But in all of these things, man, we saw all of these tricky ways that Bud was actually acting, man. And it comes down to you as a boxer versus you as a father versus you as a friend versus you as a homie versus you as a businessman. And when it comes to business, you gotta think he's a very shrewd businessman. I was one of the one that came out with the ski mask on and told Errol, man, hey, look, man, go out there and just pick on somebody, man. You got a right. Pick on somebody. He wouldn't got amnesia. He wouldn't got a bag. He said he had to feed your family. He let you sit there inactive. You missed a payday because of that. Then you give up all your concessions, all your rights as the A-side, going to go pick up them belts one by one by one. And you had a bad night. But I think the posture, the mindset, the mind frame, I think it'll do you much better, Earl, if you go ahead and get out, man. Get out. Get out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, because if I said I was going to entirely run, but then, you know, I was going to have all the people saying, oh, you just a fan of Earl. I'm a fan of both of them. I just like Earl as a man. I like the character. Yeah, he made mistakes. Yeah, he got, you know, he had the incident or whatever. However, he like, you know, he used to like to drink, whatever. I like the character. I like the fact that as one of my favorite fighters, when he say he gonna do something, that's what he do. And you got to think, he went against the suits. He had a Keith Thurman on the table, and he was like, man, I said, hey, Keith Thurman ain't gonna never get a shot. He stood on it. He didn't flip-flop. So, I'm going to say this, man. Earl, you need to get out. You need to get out, man. And I'm going to revisit this, but I want to go ahead and touch back on this Shakur Stevenson interview on $1 Million Worth of Game. I'm just now seeing that Shakur Stevenson, he said Errol Spence Jr. is a legend. He gave that man his credit. He called Earl a dog. So all this week I've been hearing all this stuff about how people, man, oh man, you could have been saw it that Earl was this and that the accident was that. It's like, okay, well, if everybody saw that Earl was such damaged goods and he was nothing after the accident, how much credit are we giving Bud? That's what you would call a checkmate. Yeah, that's what you would call a checkmate. Because you can't in the same breath say that Earl, something was wrong with Earl and it was all because of the accident. Even though he got cleared, even though we saw what he did to Ugas, even though we saw what he did to Danny Garcia, all of that was after the accident. All of that was after the accident. But now, after this was like, man, you know what I'm saying? He was wise. He ain't never going to be right. It was the accident. How is Bud the best man on the planet if it was all because of the accident? If he damaged good? What if it was a bad night? What if Bud played his cards right because he knew what was going on? He said it was hard for himself to make weight. He played his cards right. He made sure that Earl, because he's so stubborn, he sat there and he waited for you. Being a man on his word. And people say, oh, business-wise, you a fool. But these same people are turning around and said it's justified that if this rematch don't happen because they just don't want to see it. Okay, cool. But these are the same people that will go out there and expect to do business with other people, man. And we don't rock with that. We don't rock with that. It's the principalities of the whole thing. We don't rock with it. But Shakur Stevenson said this man is a legend. He saluted Errol Spence for what he said he was a dog. He spoke to the same thing that I said about this whole Frank Martin situation. Only he said that it's the highest payday, even though I never watched another man's numbers, just like on Batman when the Joker said, never rub up against another man's rhubarb. I never really watched another man's numbers, but since we having that kind of conversation, I'm going to say that, look, he spoke to it. He said, yeah, Frank Martin never made more than blah, blah, blah. We pretty much offered him 4 times that. He said, I don't know if it was him or his people, but they agreed and then they pulled out. Traditionally, that would be a duck. Now, the choice words and the name call and all that, that's just frustration because at the end of the day, them two gentlemen not in the ring. He then went on to give the Santos his respect. When they say this man been calling y'all, he been chasing, he said, yes, he has. When they said, yeah, he was up there in New Jersey looking for you, he said, yeah. He said, but then again, he was downtown. But still, I got to give him, you know what I'm saying, his respect because he has been calling me out. He's the next man on the list. I'm ready to get it on. He spoke about the Devin Haney thing. He said, listen to what he was saying. Let's listen to the word. He said, Bill is capped. He said, I know. He knows that I'll smoke Devin Haney. And Gilly was sticking up for Devin. He's like, man, you got to understand, man, he going there for Regis. And that's what Gilly, you know what I'm saying, he basically re-stamped me as a fan because I'm like, man, you got to respect Devin for going up to go see Regis. That's a tall task. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people counting him out. He even pointed out the fact that Devin might have been looking at his last performance. But I was pointing out the fact that Regis is going to be up for this fight. And Shakur then pointed out, he said, now look, he said, this is what happened with Anthony Johnson and Wilder. He said, look, man, I wanted to get it on. I wanted to fight. He said, I did not deny the fight. What I did was exercise my right. And I went to the WBC to let them dictate how much it was going to be. And Devin had no plans on fighting me, so he moved up. It is what it is. So when he moved up, hey, I'm going for Frank. Frank, pull out. Now, De Los Santos ahead of me. He said that this man is a powerful puncher. You know what I'm saying? He gave him his boxing credit. And he said, man, it's a fight. He said, look, he ain't fought nobody on my level, but he been fighting some names. He didn't be all extra. So all this extra stuff, all this outside of the ring stuff, all that, whatever, not being no safety guard, not being no safety net, you know what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. He gave Tank his respect. He said, man, look, as far as the fans, that's the best fight that can happen as far as skills versus skills. He said, Tank ain't going to say that. He said, but I'm saying that. So he gave Tank his respect and the fact that he know that skill for skill, and that's the best fight that can happen at 135. Even if Devin didn't go up to 140, that's the best fight, skill for skill. Everybody knows that. Let's not play dumb. Everybody knows that. Skill for skill. He said, and then he said, listen to the tape. He said, man, listen, I didn't record it, but listen to what Bill was saying. He said that. He knew that. They knew that already. Let's not act ignorant like we didn't hear all that. But we got to respect Devin for going up to fight Regis, and he's right. If Devin go up there and lose to Regis, or Lord forbid, Lord forbid, that 36-minute challenge that Regis is saying, hey, what's going on? I'm gonna sign up. Put me down, Regis, Progray. You know what I'm saying? That 36-minute challenge. When he stopped Devin Haney, if he is able to, Shakur is absolutely right. Now the fight between him and Shakur is off the table. Now it's pretty much either that's going to garner some tension for people wanting to see Tank and Regis, or it's definitely at 30. When you talk about 35, depending on if Shakur can get past De Los Santos or the results of that, everybody's only going to be looking at Tank and Shakur. That's why you got to respect Devin for the risk. Because contrary to popular belief, Regis Prograis is going to be up for that fight. Devin Haney is not Josh Taylor. Even though Josh Taylor hasn't looked good, but the resumes are different. Josh Taylor was, you know what I'm saying, he was up there on somebody's pound for pound. He always kind of slightly eluded my pound for pound, but I always respected Josh Taylor. And Josh Taylor and Devin Haney aren't the same. Resume alone, they aren't the same. Shakur just spoke to how, the scare that he had against Linares. He spoke to that. He said, man, coming that close. And then he was talking about, man, how basically Devin pulled that win off against Lomachenko by the hair of his chinny chin chin. That's not over-embellishing. That's not hating. That's just the facts of the matter. Lomachenko outlanded the man in every category except for bodywork, even the jab. When Coach Calvin called him a jab smith, jokingly, you know what I'm saying? So he spoke facts. He said, man, if he go out there and he lose to Regis, the value in that fight for him and Shakur, it ain't going to be no demand. They're going to say, oh, man, he already lost. It's all going to shift to Shakur and Tank, or Tank and maybe Regis, or Shakur and Regis. But at 35, it's definitely going to be, because it was down to three kings. It was down to a triangle. Tank the top dog, Devin and Shakur. If you want to say belts, okay, Devin up there, Tank being a cash cow, Shakur just now getting in with one body in Yoshino. That's what it was boiling down to. If Devin Haney is to lose to Regis Prograis, the value in those fights are off. I heard nothing but truth when Shakur was speaking. I heard nothing but respect from Gilly. And you know Gilly can be funny, you know what I'm saying? He can do sensational, but he's not sloppy, he's not messy. I heard nothing but truth. I heard nothing but respect from Shakur. And he gave us all the answers. And everybody that was just running down the street with these nuts. See, when I figured out that, okay, by right, Bud has a point. If the winner got to dictate the weight, if the loser enacted the rematch, and Bud chose to fight at that weight, I was saying, oh man, but then you came out and said, and so I said, yeah, I was saying, man, dang, he reneged on this deal. I'm not on that no more. That's in his right, but he also verbally said he didn't have a problem with going at 54. Now, if he double back, say I want some more coins, but it's going to be to Earl's detriment, which he already, like, he raked him over the coals already. I came out and said I stand corrected. That's within Bud's right. As a businessman or somebody that does business, that somebody that, you know, has a relationship, somebody that want to see the best fight the best over and over again, somebody that has a level head in this boxing game, a wealth mentality, somebody that see boxing way out. I would say that I don't agree with that, man. I don't agree with that stance. That's not how we do business out there. When we shut down these laptops and these computers and we just, you know what I'm saying, we cut all this off and we go out into the real world, man. In the real world, man, we want people that's going to honor what they say by handshake, by verbal agreement, you know what I'm saying, by understanding, by the fact that I just got you your biggest payday than ever before. And you said it. You acknowledged it. You gave me credit for saying that without me, it wouldn't happen. So now you gonna leave me hanging? I say the best thing for Earl to do is to get out, man. Get out. Get out, Earl, man. I mean, regardless of pride, regardless of what people are going to say, because they're going to hate on you anyway. They already saying, oh, man, because of the accident. I'm like, okay, well, if you want to ride with that because of the accident, he damaged goods, he would this, and that. How much credit you going to give Bud? It does nothing for your argument. Absolutely nothing for your argument. How great is Bud if Earl was damaged goods? Danny Garcia still going to go fight. So if Earl was able to do that to Danny and he was damaged goods, how good is Bud? It's time. December is right around the corner. That's my birthday month. I know. Sagittarius all day. It's right around the corner. If you so nice, do it twice. Get another bag. And yeah, you might be able to ruffle some feathers and get a couple more, you know what I'm saying, dollars. Do that. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get that man, like, it makes sense for you to be able to do it. Especially if you want to go see Charlo. But right now, it's just looking like, man, you just don't want to give. It's just like Devin Haney not coming back down to 135. It sounds like you're never going to give anybody any kind of opportunity to put a blemish on that weight class. Like right now, I don't believe Devin Haney is ever coming back down to 135. Ever. Only way I see that happening is if Regis Prograis stop him. If Regis stop him or knock him out, it's the only way I see him coming back down. If it go to decision or any other verdict, outside of Regis stopping Devin Haney or knocking him out, Devin Haney's never coming back down to 135. It don't make sense to blemish that record. You got undisputed down there. Boom. You were undefeated. Like, yeah, that's it. It would make no sense for you to risk it because the kind of money that you're going to get, unless it's a tank fight where, you know what I'm saying, we don't know what that number's going to be. Because that's the fight that everybody want. That's the fight that everybody want for real right now. Everybody want to see Shakur and Tank skill-wise. They know that, but everybody been wanting to see it because Devin has attached his name to Tank, and it's long overdue. I've been calling Tank Devin's Fatal Attraction. I don't know why he attached his name to him so early, but he think he sees something sweet. You know what I'm saying? He might need glasses. I'm not sure, but that's what everybody wanted to see. And I think that he's never going to come back down. And I think right now, Bud is never going to give nobody an opportunity at 47 to put a blemish on that record. Why? If you so shrewd as a businessman, it don't make sense. The best thing for Errol to do right now, get out, man. Save face. Get out, let the people talk. They already talking bad. They already acting like it wasn't because of you that this fight actually happened. You already act like you didn't give up your shirt just to give the fans what they want. That's why I call you the people's champ. Yes, it was an ass whooping by Bud. It was a masterclass boxing session by Bud. It was. We don't take away from that. But we say that it does nothing to benefit you going forward on this fight. One, I'm not sure if the money is going to be as much. For two, the fans are going to come up with any kind of conclusion. And unless you just dog walk, even if you dog walk them, they're going to move the conversation like, oh, well, yeah, that's because he moved him up to a weight class that he's never been in. It's going to be some kind of excuse. They're going to bring up somebody to jump out there, probably the boxing mouth. They're going to come out with some kind of narrative, and they're going to, they're going to have everybody, all these zombies out there just echoing it. It does you nothing. I heard Errol Lubin said, hey, you know what I'm saying? He think he can whatever. Errol Lubin feeling like he froggy. Errol got options. You got options, Errol. And just like I came out and said, hey, man, when Bud was starting out, I was the one in the ski mask. I had a ski mask going. I was like, hey, man, just pick on somebody. I'm saying right now is a good time to get out. To get out. And let Bud do whatever he going to do. If he think he got, delusions of grandeur to be able to go move and go get this big fight or that big fight or attach his name, make him prove that. Make him go get whatever numbers. And I bet you it's going to be in the Lexus Rocha, because he ain't going to fight Boots. And you go ahead and go over to 54 and start the second chapter in your whole career. You know what I'm saying? Get as much money as you can. Rebuild yourself. Reclimb. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever you want to do. But I'm saying right now, get out. We got closure on the Shakur situation. You know what I'm saying? Which I was glad. Edwin La Granada de los Santos is a tall task. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Gilly, man. He one of the ones that, you know what I'm saying, I see like a mentor from afar, from how they move and all that. I don't got to be affiliated, jump in, do whatever. I just take notes. How you doing this? How you doing that? Take notes, study, and you know what I'm saying? The way he carried around some real people, man. The way he handled, the way he could sit down and interview Tank. He could sit down and interview Shakur. He could sit down and interview Devin. He get all the good answers. He respectful to them all, but then he asks the tough questions, and he don't create no messiness, man. You gotta love and salute that, man. We need more of that in the boxing community. You know what I'm saying? So I respect that, man. We got a lot of good things out of Shakur, but Shakur pretty much came out and cleared the air. We still haven't heard from Frank. I thought that Frank might have to go down and sit down with Brian Custard. I'm a solution-oriented individual. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to come on, man, and as an Errol fan, man, people might call me an Errol sexual, however you want to call it. That's because that's what they would love to say, which I don't know how straight men are online calling people names like that. I'm just the Errol Spence supporter. You know what I'm saying? That man, regardless of what you want to say, just like Jermell Charlo, who went out and stone collected belt by belt by belt by belt. He didn't get a belt and then wait around and to fight all the mandatories, because the same thing that Gary Russell was doing, he got knocked for it by just fighting his mandatories and holding his belt. They would say, oh man, he ain't fighting nobody, even though they know he was ducked. Bud did the same thing. Earl went out and got the stones, brought all those to the table, and then gave this man 50-50. But he get no respect. And right now, as an Errol Spence fan, I'm also a Bud fan, but as an Errol Spence diehard fan, I'm saying get out. Get out, bro. Your fans gonna support, man. Don't believe that if you have to have a pay-per-view or however you want to do it, your fans are gonna support because people support you. I think that right after the Keith Thurman loss, after he lost to Manny Pacquiao, had he remained active, his fans wouldn't have changed, because we got people now that's just all day, every day, just on Keith Thurman all day. All day. But they were diehard Keith Thurman fans back in the day. I think that after that fight with Manny Pacquiao, Haiti got back in and just continued to be active. Even with the Mario Barrios fight, if he would have just remained active, he'd have been all right. He'd have been all right. So I think, man, Errol, you get back in the saddle. You know what I'm saying? Lubin talking that noise, that'll be a good name. Because Lubin is tried through and through. He's had his ups and downs. Lubin or Fundora. You and Fundora right now will be blockbuster right now. I'm putting my bid in for you and Fundora. You and Fundora 54. I don't know if it's pay-per-view. That sells. That sells. Especially coming off the Mendoza thing. But you got options, Earl. I'm just saying, man, don't be no fool and don't listen to these fans. You know what I'm saying? They'll have you, they're gonna drag you either way. But if you stand around and you waste any more time on your career, if you become any more inactive, you know what I'm saying? If you saying you ready to go, you know what I'm saying, and you too legit to quit, go down and go down and see the Hammer. Go down and see the Hammer and Lubin. That is it. Lubin, even Tony Harrison. Lubin, Tony Harrison, Fundora, any one of them guys except Castaño, go fight Tim Tszyu. Go fight Tim Tszyu. Because if you're gonna rematch with Bud, none of them guys like is on that level. Any one of them guys you can go get, and you're gonna get a bag, and you got people like me that's gonna ride for you, regardless. But get out. That's all I really had, man. Thanks for the people that came in today, man. This is Bodywork Boxing, man. I just thought I'd put it out, man. I just want to be on record saying get out. Thanks to Shakur for actually clearing up everything. Salute to Gilly for getting that interview, man. And thanks for everybody who's going to catch this now or on the playback, man. I really do appreciate you, man. Thanks for tuning in here at Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.